I have been organizing and curating my fall wardrobe, and I am absolutely ready for the autumn season, the colors, the weather, everything. And so in today's video, I'm going to tell you about my favorite fall eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot of palettes though, I think like 160. So I could have picked way more than this. These are just my suggestions. And if you have these or similar color stories, maybe you want to bring them out this time of year. Personally, I love warm tones, obviously, jewel tones, and like the burgundy shades. That's what I'm drawn to this time of year. And kind of like my shirt, definitely fall inspired here. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe for more. Let us know your favorite fall palettes, and let's get into it. These are in no particular order, except I have to say, I'm putting these together because Metropolis, this palette is just, it's the quintessential autumn color story for me. I have had this palette since it came out and I absolutely love it. As you can see, I have used it a ton and I think it's amazing. However, there is this option, which is the Alter Ego Artemis palette. I bought this because I'm nervous this is going to expire one day and I wanted to have this as a backup. I know, kind of ridiculous. I have not used this yet, but I have a lot of Alter Ego palettes and I really like the formula personally. So I did just want to mention these together because you definitely have the option of buying this one. Let's talk about a few smaller palettes. This one from ColourPop, the Good as Gold. If you just want those kind of gold warm shades, this one definitely pulls a bit yellow. You might say this would be good for summer. I might say it's good year round, depends what you're into. Personally, I really like this palette. I think that the quality is great and it's very warm toned, which I love. Now, I also mentioned I love the burgundy tones and the red tones for the autumn. And so the ColourPop Wine and Only, it's perfect for this. This is a gorgeous palette. I've had it for many years and it's really beautiful. If you like these tones, I say go for it. Or if you already have this or similar shades, definitely pull it out. Just, shop your stash, use what you have. The Orchid You Not, if you're into more purpley tones, is a very good option. And it's beautiful, deep, plummy shades. And it's absolutely stunning. So if you want the more purple versus the red tones, you've got these palettes here and they're amazing. Nomad Cosmetics has a lot of amazing fall color stories and fall themed palettes. I have a few to share with you today. This is one of their older palettes and I feel like this is just such a classic autumn color story. Like this is what I want. And this packaging, so this is their Hudson Valley palette and this is so beautiful. I mean, to me, this palette looks like fall leaves. It truly, truly does. It's just beautiful to look at, honestly. And personally, I really like that Nomad, most of their palettes have a lot more mattes than shimmers because lately I have not even been using that many shimmer shades, mostly just on the inner corner, if that. So today I have a little bit of a shimmer on the inner corner, but I don't know, most of my eye looks have been matte, and so I really like that about their palettes. Let's move on to, oh, here's another ColourPop palette. Like I said, these are kind of all over the place. I've got a giant pile over here. This is the Golden Hour palette, and I really like this. They sent me this in PR a few months ago, and when I got it, I used it quite a bit, and now I kind of pushed it back to a bottom of a drawer, so I need to pull this out and use it again. It's very neutral, leaning, warm, and it's just such a pretty everyday palette. These two bottom rows here are absolutely stunning. It's, as you can see, there's a few more cool tones in here, but on the whole, I would say this is a warm tone palette, but it's not like red burgundy because not everybody likes that, or you might not want that every day. And this one it's really good. Just like with Metropolis, I do have a little duo here to talk about, and that is the original Natasha Denona Gold palette. I did not buy the new one. I'm on a no buy, so, and I feel like, obviously, look at all these palettes I have, guys. Do you really think I needed to buy another palette? No. No, I did not. The original gold palette, it's beautiful. I am very, very happy that I have this one. But if you want an alternative, the Alter Ego Goddess palette, I think it's just as good, honestly. The formula on this is fantastic. I have used this palette several times, and it may be redundant that I have both, but I guess having a YouTube channel is my excuse, but also I love the gold palette and I don't mind having a backup of this one like I do with Metropolis. So yeah, this one's amazing. And that duochrome, multi-chrome shade, which I can't remember. Well, yeah, this one here, it's so pretty. It's so pretty in this one, and they look identical to me. So those are good options also. I could have pulled out a few more Pat McGrath palettes, but I decided to just pick one, and that is Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. I mean, this fiery red shade right here is so beautiful. This one I also love. This plum, the browns, the bronze, this palette is stunning. I mean, looking at it like this doesn't really do it justice. You have to really see this on the eyes. This is currently in my project Level Up, and I'm really enjoying using it and my other Pat McGrath palettes. So I would say for this one, this is the most autumn themed for me, but a lot of her palettes I could also pull into this category. As I mentioned, I've been doing mostly matte looks, and a palette I've really enjoyed this year is the ColourPop Gone Matte palette, and it's exactly what it says. It does have cool tones here, but it is mostly warm toned, which I prefer. I don't use these that often, but sometimes I want a cool tone look. And honestly, for the fall, I do think that is nice also. These shades are what I tend to stick to, and these mattes are fantastic. They blend really well. They're really nice. Okay, back to Nomad. I'm so all over the place. This is their newest palette, and it is stunning. This is the Chicago Speakeasy palette. Gorgeous color story. And these shades are absolutely beautiful. I've only used the mattes because, like I said, I've been mostly into matte looks. The shimmers do look absolutely beautiful. This red here looks amazing. It's definitely, I think these are duochromes and multi-chromes. My favorite shade in the palette is this lime green here. I was wearing this on the inner corner, if you can see that. There it is, in my declutter video, and a lot of people commented on that. I have loved that, to just do like a neutral eye look and then do a matte colorful shade on the inner corner. That's been really fun. This packaging, oh my gosh, it's so pretty, like Great Gatsby vibes. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, let's go to an older palette, the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. I've talked about this one so much on my channel. It's one of my favorite palettes. It really is. It's really reddish, warm tones, and it's stunning. It's stunning. I mean, that one's been around forever, but I just had to mention it. And I had to mention an old fall favorite of mine, and that is the Tarte Toasted palette. I still have this palette, and I still use it, and I still love it. This is the palette I'm wearing today. I just think the mattes in here, particularly, like I said, I mean, I'm mostly wearing matte shades these days, but it is so pretty. I'm wearing this one in the crease, this one on the lid, and then this on the outer corner, and like as a little bit of a wing, and that is it. And of course, a little inner corner shimmer, but that is it for my look. I've had this palette for years. I still love it. And this packaging is so beautiful. I think this one and the Nomad Hudson Valley palettes definitely win for packaging, although this one too. Yeah, it's not about the packaging, but what's inside. And honestly, I love both. So it's all good. More burgundy tones. This is the Sydney Grace Raspberry Kiss palette. Wow, beautiful, gorgeous. Need I say more? This one is interesting because some of the shades do lean a bit more purple, some lean a bit more burgundy, reddish, and this one's like kind of a pink. I don't know, it's a really, really pretty palette. And again, year round you could use this, but I do think you could do some really nice fall looks. All right, this one, what is this? Fantasy Cosmetica Bard palette. I really, really like this one. I did see that they came out with a new palette recently. I have not bought a palette from them in a while. I have this one. I have the Druid and the Bard. This one, I mean, these color stories here, I mean, you've got this olive green. You could do a one shadow look with this and it would be just an autumn dream. It really, really would. I should do that. I should do that. A one shadow look with this. I would love that. This burgundy, amazing. Their formula on the shimmers, stunning, super metallic. Like I said, haven't been wearing shimmers, but if I were to get into some shimmers again, that palette I would definitely want to use. All right, another one from Nomad. This is called the Fuji 5 Lakes palette. This one, also the packaging, it's like textured. Wow, amazing. And here we are. I still think this is a beautiful fall palette. You have these red tones here and the yellows. Whoops, the yellows here. It's very, very pretty. You also have the blues, which I don't wear blue eyeshadow all that often. That's probably the color that I wear the least. But the rest of the palette is absolutely stunning, and I definitely want to get some more use out of this. And then last up, again, I could have included so many more palettes, but I decided to include a little one from Nomad that this is their Abu Dhabi palette from their travel collection. And I mean, this is like my classic go-to for this time of year. This is probably my classic go-to color story year round, but definitely autumn time, bronzy, warm, buttery goodness here and amazing pumpkin shade. It's fantastic. So these are the palettes that I picked. Like I said, I could have picked way more, but you know, I had to limit the video. But yeah, this is just to give you some ideas. If you have some of these palettes, let us know. What are your go-to colors this time of year? Are you excited for fall like the rest of us? And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.